Awesome. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Butler. Kind of a little bit about myself is that I am a self-taught developer. I've actually been developing since 2018, and I really enjoyed the front end. And I'm excited to kind of speak with you guys today and give just a quick update on something that I found that's really awesome. It's GitHub's new README profile pages. It's a new feature that was launched by GitHub in 2020. It's something that allows you to share information about yourself. Really, it's almost like the front door to your GitHub page. But it's a great new way, as I said, to kind of showcase a little bit of information about your contributions, kind of a quick bio even about yourself. But you decide what information that you'd like to include in your README profile. And so you have really kind of a greater way to introduce yourself to the team members that you'll possibly work on, a little bit more in depth about what kind of got you into coding. So that being said, I'm really excited to kind of talk to you guys a little bit more about the top 3 things that I think that you should include in your README profile page, how to set them up. And then I've got a couple of quick examples of what I feel are good README profile pages, and then a couple of links to resources that I use to help me get started. So what makes a good README profile page? So this information that I got, I did get directly from GitHub's resource link, and they did a great job. So rather than kind of reinventing the wheel, I kind of took it directly from there. But a few good examples of what you should include is just information that visitors just might find interesting about your profile or a little bit more about yourself. So just kind of as the first bulleted point, quick intro about yourself, just kind of a short, quick description about your work interests, a little bit more about kind of how you got into coding. Secondly, contributions that you made that you're proud of, any sort of context about those contributions. So for example, I recently launched a project and deployed it, and I'm looking for some open source contributors. And that's one thing that I'd like to kind of highlight in my README profile page. Another piece that I find really awesome about it, and I'm excited about it, is the GitHub README stats. I'll show that in a later slide, but in particular, those are just a really quick glance, almost like a quick glance at what your profile is comprised of, all of your languages that you've written your code in, what you specialize in. It's just a really quick blurb, and I think it's awesome because it gives people kind of a gateway into what you're working on. But you can format it really as creatively as you want. When we take a look at the profiles that I've gathered, you'll see a couple different things that people have put on theirs. But so that being said, here is just an example of my GitHub README profile. As you can see, just kind of laying it out with content, body paragraph with a little bit more about myself, kind of my background, what got me into coding, and then just below tools and technologies, or technologies and tools, you can take a glance, and that's that README, the GitHub stats that I was mentioning earlier. In a quick glance, it just tells you a little bit of all the total commits that you've had, the languages that you write in. So if you kind of glance at mine, 74% of the languages that I use most is JavaScript, and then 25% is TypeScript. But overview, it's just a really cool kind of quick way to showcase a little bit more about yourself and kind of your profile, your GitHub profile in a nutshell. But here is another example of kind of diving a little bit deeper in kind of the things that you can do with the GitHub stats. This is just a quick piece of code that you can incorporate, and I'll use a link. I'll attach the link on how to set that up. But this is just kind of going over the stats a little bit more in depth. And here is another pretty awesome profile page. So this one is not animated, but as you can look towards the bottom, thanks for visiting my profile, see you next time, you can include dynamic objects or dynamic pieces and components within the profile. So one GitHub profile README that I've seen, an individual almost even had like music playing. So it's almost like a social media portion of GitHub, but it's still something that I think just kind of shows a little bit more about who you are as a developer and kind of your creativity overall. But that being said, kind of a brief, kind of short to the point, but the resources that I used, there's a great link by one GitHub contributor, aboutmonica.com. It goes over just kind of the punch list of how to set it up and then components that you should include. Another link was 10 standout GitHub profile READMEs. That one I used for a little bit of inspiration and kind of how to structure it. And then the last bulleted point is just managing your GitHub profile. And that is what I use from GitHub's documentation directly. But that in a nutshell is what I'd like to present today.